Here comes the rain again. Okay, I'm sharing my thoughts on The Fault in Our Stars in the middle of a thunderstorm. Here we go. Lesson number 1. Some infinities are bigger than other infinities. The universe is recycling everything in this constant crazy motion, which is why the present moment is so awesome and so awesome and so awesome. The idea that you can have infinities within infinities is really fascinating. It blows me away. Sometimes you have to love things more than you can miss them. And I kind of think about this, like the past and what I've done, what I've accomplished. You really do have to love people more than you can miss them. You have to cherish those really small moments that you have. You have to focus on the small things, focus on what matters. Love things and people more than you can miss them. Lesson number 3, this whole idea of the heroic life, of being remembered, of making a mark on the world. I just watched the commencement speech by Jim Carrey, right? That my soul is not contained by my body is contained by the limitlessness of my soul. It's important to just be loved deeply instead of widely and like a level, but you want to inspire people. But you have to be able to understand that fundamental life truth of how everything's going to be forgotten. Be able to enjoy the present moment as much as possible. We're going to get hurt in this life, but we have the choice of who to impact and how to impact others. And we should choose love, most definitely. Make decisions out of love and not out of fear. I'm choosing my love over a thunderstorm. Lesson number 4, seeing people complexly, seeing people as people and not elevating them or degrading them into something that they're not. Again, that's classic. The idea that we are all valuable and we are all human and we are all lovable and valuable, and that's something that you can lose sight of when you think, oh, I have to be loved, I have to be valued to be valuable. No. Everybody's unique, everybody's an individual, everybody has this aperture at which they view the universe or the cosmos views itself. That's the way to do it. Right, universe? I had to delete footage, I was running out of room. No! What's that quote? If I was a drizzle, she was a hurricane. Number 5, being valuable, being loved, and just having that perspective of the big context to realize that we're all stardust, everything is awesome, DFTBA, go wild. The next one is my favorite, cosmic laughter, the idea that basically we have the opportunity to tell sad stories in a funny way and just laugh at the fact that my ancestry goes all the way back to light itself. I am the fabric and structure of existence itself. And that makes me smile. You know, people have a heartbeat, right? People have a heartbeat in their heart. That gives me a heartbeat in my mind. Number 7 is grief, is the idea that you do get hurt in this world, and life's kind of like a subway, right? You ride along the subway, and you transition, you see people along the way, they stick with you on the ride, sometimes they leave and depart suddenly. Life is a subway, and the other thing is grief. You don't get to choose whether or not you get hurt in this world, but you do have a matter in who hurts you. Who you ride the subway with, right? And the idea of grief is kind of like an ocean. We all get wet, but we all swim differently. I think that's from a book I read. It's Riding the Subway with Heidi. We all turn into these little tiny boats filled half with water, but we're still afloat. That's the image that grief conjures up in my noggin. And then the last thing I took about that is the universe deciding to notice us. We basically have to... Hazel says at some point in the book that she has some sort of debt to repay. She feels like she has to see the universe in its entirety to pay back everybody who's ever lived or is going to live or has lived before her. The idea the universe can shape itself to bring you into the world. That's another thing I took away from The Fault in Our Stars, is just being alive is a miracle in itself. Truly. And the universe notices you. It does. Just pay attention to it and notice it, and it will notice you. Ask it. Ask the universe. And then I think number 9, one of the biggest lessons I took away from this, is the idea of maintaining curiosity and vulnerability simultaneously. When you're curious, you can't help but be vulnerable. And when you are vulnerable, you can't help but be curious. And if you shut down vulnerability, you kind of shut down curiosity because you aren't, that intellectual curiosity goes away. So I think that's it. Those are 9 lessons. 9 lessons from The Fault in Our Stars. I'm starting to see the cliches and fundamental life truths every single day now because it's just exploded in my mind. Life is all play, okay? Life is all just play. Just dancing in the rain. This is your life. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. Soak it in, no pun intended. So thank you for watching. Keep creating an awesome self. And don't forget to stay curious and vulnerable and be happy, be humble, and be grateful. Bye.
What's up, dog?
Dogs don't like thunderstorms. Ah! Needle nose. Who's a needle nose? Who's a needle nose? Oh, how strange and lovely it is to be anything at all. Right, bud? Yawn!